Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. And, as you might have seen by the clip, we have snow here in Houston. Kind of a bit of an oddity in these spots. Coming a bit closer. Anyway, I'm smoking some Edward G. Robinson in my new Phil Rivara pipe. Stubby prints. Very, very beautiful work, as always. So it's the new year, and there's a lot of things that have happened in my life over the past year and things that are going on now that I kind of want to discuss just slightly. So, this is my first time smoking Edward G. Robinson, and it is wonderful. I've never had it before. I've been wanting to try it. And I was lucky enough to get two tins, or 2 cans of it, 2 tubs. And what possibly might have been the last 2 tubs available on the market. I have it from a from a different site, a brick and mortar. Not one of the well-known sites like Pipes and Cigars or Smoking Pipes. And luckily they had it in stock. Because, as all of you should know by now, with this whole debacle of the Sutliff McBaron acquisition by Scandinavian Tobacco Group, there have been a lot of changes to their companies, and they've just discontinued a lot of blends, and unfortunately Edward G. was on the chopping block. But before I get into that, I want to discuss the story of this pipe, why I bought it, and my recent endeavors. Now, I didn't want this sort of to be a trauma dump, this first half. But I have to give a little bit of context to my health and where I've been. And why I've been sort of talking a bit different from the last time. Because it was a very stark contrast, I think. Because the last video I did, where I was on camera, was when I restored that Peterson pipe. It was my comeback. And then the last video I did was the VR response to a pipe appeal, which we'll get to that later. Now, the thing I'm going to say is people still driving around in the snow. Hmm. I've been talking a bit slower. My voice is different. Sort of my eyes a bit bad. Left side. Um, a few months back, I did have a small stroke. I was in the hospital for a few days. And, it was a very sort of life-changing experience for me. And when I got out of the hospital, after that stroke, Phil posted that this pipe for sale that he had just finished. And I thought it was appropriate for me to buy it to celebrate coming home. And I'm glad I bought it. It's a very beautiful smoking pipe. This last year I've had very much issues with mental health. And it was a very stressful time for me. Mental and physical health. And the height of it was this stroke. I'm glad that I survived. And I'm glad it wasn't something too serious. But I'm still recovering. And it's been about 3 months now. But slowly I'm gaining progress. My speech was much slower. And it was very slurred. But now I'm starting to get back to it. So, that's just a bit of an update on me and the story of the meaning of this pipe. And my hands are shaking. It's just because it's cold. Remember, it's still snowing out here. Now, let's talk about the big news. The whole McBaron McClellan situation. My thoughts on it. On the one hand, it was kind of surprising, but on the other hand, it was to be expected. This isn't the first time I've experienced this. Many of you guys haven't either. Does anyone remember 10 years ago about when McClellan closed its doors? Maybe about 9-10 years ago. But everybody lost their minds when that happened. And then before that, there was the whole thing with CVS stopped selling tobacco products, and everybody kind of went and stocked up on whatever they had. When things come and go, it's like the old saying goes, I don't really know to appreciate things until they're gone. And it's kind of funny how people kind of made fun of Sutcliffe and McClellan when they were around. Remember when people would say McClellan, all their blends had that distinct vinegar ketchup taste? They didn't breathe a word of that when they left. And then when Sutcliffe, they would say that they had so many blends and they all tasted the same. I haven't heard that lately. And then another question people are asking about boycotting. Should they boycott STG, the Scandinavian Tobacco Group, for getting rid of blends, all their favorite blends, closing Sutliff. My personal opinion, I feel that it would be pointless, and people would just be missing out on some other good blends that they make. Like Peterson's, for example. Which, Peterson and the former Dunhill blends, remember when those went away? And they got rebranded as Peterson. So, it's just things that happen. And I'm not going to put 100% of the blame on STG either, because in the end, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Sure, there are some discussions that they have with some of the people who work there, current and former. But we don't know exactly what the mindset was to the decisions that they made. I think that all we can do now is just wait. Because there have been many blends that have come and gone, and they've come back in other forms. The blend that I'm smoking now, the Edward G. Robinson, is the Edward G. Robinson blend that we know by Sutliff. They weren't the original makers of it. Obviously, it was different back when they would first arrive, like in the 40s, 30s or 40s. I don't really know. But when I first came to existence, probably 40s. But eventually Sutliff started producing it. And I've noticed now that there is another company that has their version of it, HU Tobaccos, which I think I might get a tin and see how it compares. That's a very good smoke. And who knows what will happen in later on. Maybe STG will rebrand some of this stuff, remake it, once they find the proper sources. Or they might just sell off those blends and let other manufacturers produce it, like Cornell and Deal. But who knows what will happen later on. My outlook is I'm just going to look into other blenders and see what they have and stock up on what I enjoy before something happens to them. Just what I should have done sooner with Sutliff. My favorite blend was Country Doctor, and it's gone now. And it's a few times I've lost it. The first time I had it was a few years ago, back when Sutliff was selling it in the cans. And I bought tins of it and I smoked through it. Then they stopped producing those tins. And a few years later, Pipes and Cigars was selling it in bulk. I did not bother to buy it. I should have bought it. And now it's gone. But things come and go, and you have to move on. And there's been a lot of that lately with me. There have been a lot of people who have come and gone in my life, and a lot of other things that I used to admire that have come and gone as well. Over the past 10 years that I've been pipe smoking, I've had numerous jobs. Many of them were bankruptcies. Places I used to frequent, how they've changed. Some have closed. Restaurants. And I think the biggest shock that I realized that times really have changed was last year, a few months ago actually. I wanted to visit what was my favorite place, the old Briar Shop. Used to be down here in Houston. I show up and I come to find out that Briar Shop is no more. It's changed hands and it's been renamed. All those beautiful pipe displays and everything gone. Now it's just a dull, dark cigar lounge. It's only a small little case of pipes. Very sad. But I wish them well. I may go back. But it's not the same. And I think that's the one thing that we all have to consider. When things change, and it's just not the same as it once was. Excellent work, Phil. I think this one's pretty much almost done. Only the half full. Plus, I'm getting cold. I've been out here for about half an hour now. And the snow is still falling. At my feet, it froze. But that's just a bit of an update on sort of things, my life, my thoughts on the whole SGG merger, takeover, buyout, whatever you want to call it. And smoking this beautiful new pipe to celebrate a second chance at life. And I have to let go of those things great things that I've lost. But look forward to finding new things that I love. One last thing, I think. I don't know when, but actually there's one last quick thing I want to mention. I quit pipe smoking a few years back. And I kind of regret doing that because so many things changed in that time that I was gone. And the main reason I did the video to a Pipe Appeal was because I wanted to thank him for bringing me back into the hobby. Very beautiful videos. And it sort of regained my interest in the pipe. So I'm glad I've been able to come back and enjoy it. So I want to do more videos. Even though I quit pipe smoking, I still have a collection that I really want to look over. And a lot of them are pipes that need work done to them. So I have a lot of content there. I also have several tins that I haven't opened. those when I got back in. So there's more content to come. Hopefully I feel better enough to do more videos in the future. Perfect, Ash. Such a painful sight when you smoke your first bowl in a virgin briar pipe. And it just blackens it, but that's part of the process. Okay, so I think I'm gonna end that here. I hope you all take care. You all enjoy your new year, and don't be discouraged by what's the events going on in the hobby. It's just, you have to think positive, look forward, and discover new things. And well, that's all. Farewell for now.